Henry. It's the coach, and this is the 2018 season on EA Sports. Coming up, the big man, Derrick Henry, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Four down, check. All right, here we go.
Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Boom, 90. Boom.
They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jordan. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Set.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. They come into this one ranked number 5 in the NFL against the run.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
Let's go.
They'll set up to throw.
39.
He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Let's go. Green, 39. Green.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Malden in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. The Vikings send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
On 2nd down, Michel. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Named an All-Pro for the first time in 2017, cornerback Xavier Rhodes relishes the challenge of guarding the game's top wide receivers. He'll trail them anywhere, even into the opposing backfield, to make big-time plays.
On 3rd down, Rivers. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
This is Michel on the counter, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss of 5, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back.
Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 21 carries, 109 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
On second down, here's Henry. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. They'll run it now out of the gun. Uses the spin. Always got some breathing room. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Carlson now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Rivers on first down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Following the penalty, Michel. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 75 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
On the handoff, it's Michel. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On third down, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Green 39.
They begin with Henry. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half.
All right, here we go.
Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down carry for Henry. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up the first down.
And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Getting the sense Charles are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves his sticks.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19, 3-19.
A give to Henry. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads.
Yeah.
When you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit, he is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
Set, 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
He'll get it up the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. A first down throw here for Rivers. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throw right side going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give. This is Michel. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive. And here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First down, Rivers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 2nd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. From the gun, Rivers going to throw deep for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have now made this a 1-score game. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Going deep for Diggs. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue, landed.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll buy some time right. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here, and it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
The kick by Carlson is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Phillip Rivers now gears up to lead the offense on the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They'll run it. This is Michelle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 1st and 10, Rivers. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rivers, and that is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean, they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Higgins. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll set up to throw. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom!
Now back to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
Back to throw again. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive, going to the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. And it's the Titans with the lead in the second quarter of play. Dion Lewis, a touchdown run in that first half. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Matt Ryan has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And currently they are tied with the visiting Bills in that one. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a second down throw for Rivers. And this will be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Ready, 380.
On third down, Rivers. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
180.
Rivers on first down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. And that's incomplete. And the Steelers on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And now running right through it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
To Henry. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. nowadays an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Second down, Rivers. Throw right side, going to be caught by Seals-Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Rivers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll run with Michelle. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And it's Michelle once again. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Rivers from the gun on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Off the bootleg, Rivers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. They'll turn to Michel as they go back to the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
To throw on 3rd down, Rivers. To Michel on the dump-off. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
All right, here we go.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Vikings on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 4 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They begin with Michel on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, Rivers. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a good pickup on the ground of 7 yards, and time has run out on this third quarter.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And the Steelers on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time it's 3rd and 3. Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he finds Seals-Jones complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Oh, boy, when a good tight end reads man coverage, is able to run the corner route, almost impossible to defend. They can use the good head fake, work him inside, and then they'll get him on their back or on their hip and keep them away from the football with their body.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down throw here for Rivers. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Anthony Barr able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the gun, Rivers. He'll find his tight end, Seals-Jones. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On third down, Rivers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's caught over the middle by Seals-Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
Holding offense.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to air one out, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Derrick Henry. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
They'll run it again with Henry. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. He'll look to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10.
We got three. All right, here we go.
They'll run with Henry. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Looking to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Set. Green, 39.
Running left, it's Henry. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. It's James. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Set. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will make the lead now 26. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. To the right side and complete to Washington. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Throwing, Rivers, and he comes back with one complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He sets to fire deep and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Rivers on 2nd and 10. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first, this now from 42 yards out. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now let's go!
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
Maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he thought he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Now a second down throw for Rivers. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Rivers on 1st down. And that's caught left side. Seals Jones with it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the red zone now, Rivers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Got an open man, it's Washington. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Rivers again. To Michelle on the dump off. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. To the air again here, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Ricky Seals-Jones, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Rivers now. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. 3rd and goal for Rivers. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. How about the defensive stand here from 1st and goal, 3 straight incompletion.
Yeah, I think people are wondering why didn't they try and run it at least once in there. But once the first incompletion happened, it's almost like they were committed to throwing the ball from then on out.
Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as he'll go for it on 4th and goal. One last shot now for Rivers. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Vikings, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they also will exit this one at 2-2. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.